Okay, hello everyone, this is Nico Ryan here, coach of the Lilipu FC. We're doing a little different thing today. This is a post-commentary video of my SPC finals match against Leon and the Minnesota Miniors. This was a very cool match, a very long match. Was a 50 minutes long battle. Leon is a really cool guy. He has a really scary team. This was a pretty difficult battle for us. I was really scary. I had a very decent run this season of the SPC. I am the current champion as well, champion of the season 3. And I went into this match with a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. But one of my 2 losses was exactly to Leon, a very bad loss, a 4-0 loss, where Iron Hands pretty much destroy my team and plan the ground for Current Dragon Dance with loaded dice to finish me off quickly. I couldn't do much, so I was really scary. I couldn't think of much to try and stop this. I spent a lot of time building for this match. All I could think of that could stop these two from just winning again was a Whiscash, a Rocky Helmet defensively. It was pretty much the only thing on my team that could try and take on the Iron Hands, fully defensive, and the Duraludon, if you lied, fully special defense to try and hold down the Curran. Both of them with Rest Sleep Talk, which is probably the reason why this match took so long. I brought up a little bit of stall, I would admit, to try and win this. I wanted this championship even though I thought I couldn't do it. I brought a Swords Dance Triple Berry with Champal to try and do something this week's for a change, since Champal pretty much sit on the bench and watch the rest of the team do all the job pretty much the whole season. Zapdos was full special attack but bulky, full HP with heavy duty boots. Hatterene was a Kibia Berry set to try and take a setup with Iron Moth, with Power Herb, Booster Energy, or Fire Dance, and finish him off, or at least brought him real low with the Psy Shock and Nuzzle. I had Healing Wish as well. And finally, my win com was pretty much Arcanine. I deposited all my faith on this match on the Arcanine. It was an Agility Rocky Head set with ability shield because of the neutralizing gas wheezing that I knew it was coming, especially because of the Champal, but because of Arcanine too. At first I was bringing Clear Amulet because of the Intimidate hit on top, but the recoil from Head Smash and Flare Blades pretty much made me change it to ability shield. I needed Arcanine alive if I wanted to have a slight chance of winning this match. I made the video a little bit faster. I made the battle playing a little bit faster. So instead of 50 minutes, it should take like 40 minutes. So I don't take that much time to do this, especially because I didn't make any notes. I didn't have any preparation from this. I'll just try to remember as we watch it together. So let's get into it. This is the SPC Season 4 final match, the Lilipu FC facing Leon and the Minnesota Miniors. Let's get into it. As you can see, my team right there. There could be a Berry, Heavy Duty Boots if you like, Ability Shield, Arcanine, Rocky Helmet, and Whiscash and the Chopo Berry Champal. The video will start to get a little bit faster when we start searching. So this won't take that long. There you go. It took a while for me to find it, but there you go. As you can see, I pretty much got everyone right on my predictions. The Curran, the Napoleon, Iron Moth, Hit on Top, Iron Hands, and Galarian. Even though he brought Bramble Gas last time instead of the Empoleon, I thought Empoleon was coming pretty much to stop Harine. Iron Hands did stop it last time, but it was a mind game with the Terra types, so I thought he would bring the Empoleon to check the Primarine, not Primarina, Hatterene, Sorry, it's really early in the morning. So I decided to lead with Arcanine because I want damage, especially on Weezing and Hitmontop as soon as possible. I just want chips to eventually help Arcanine maybe win this game. As you can see, he lead with the Empoleon, and I thought he was going to go for rocks right away, but I couldn't risk and stay without the Terra, so I just Terra turned 1 and went for the agility. I should have just went for the damage, because there was no way he was switching Curran or Iron Moth so early in the game. I could have just gone for the Flare Blitz and get some damage on this thing. This thing was really hard. The Empoleon really walled my team on this match. As you can see, I went for the agility and he went for the flip turn, which is good because rocks will be a problem to my team since I don't have a removal. But maybe he got scared of me switching into Harine with the magic bounce. He went straight for the Hitmontop to get the Intimidate up, I believe, which is okay. I just want some damage in the beginning of the match. But I could have just went for the Flare Blitz right away to start getting damage without the need of the agility. I was expecting him to switch out into Weezing because of the neutralizing gas since he got the Intimidate up, and that's, I believe it was exactly what he did. Seeing me go for the agility, he probably just knew right away that I was a rock he had set. Maybe it took a while for him to realize that, but he eventually did. There you go. And with that, the ability shield is going to be revealed right away because the neutralizing gas won't be able to affect it. There you go, a little bit of damage on Weezing. As we can see, no Black Sludge. He didn't show me his stats after the match, so I don't know what this thing was, to be honest. But no Black Sludge was good for us. He brought back the Hitmontop to get another Intimidate off as I went for a head smash. That was a good prediction on him, especially after he knew I was ability shield. But that's damage. We got some damage on Hitmontop as well, and that's good. And he revealed the Rocky helmets on the Hitmontop. I knew he was going for a triple Exo, but being bulky Zapdos, I knew I could take it and just roost in front of it, so I went for it. And I believe I got the static up on the second turn, but he got all the three. Yeah, as you can see, he brought me a little below half, but I'm faster than he, especially after the paralyze, and I could roost it. But the problem with roosting in front of this thing is that he could bring Curran for free, and Curran was right away starting to be a problem for me. My answer for Curran was Duraludon, and even it being my answer was not that good of an answer because Duraludon doesn't have a really good special defense. So I was hoping this was physical again, to be honest. But as you can see, yeah, special Curran went for the Ice Beam right away. Took around 60, around now exactly 60 HP, which is bad because this is looking like a 3-hit KO. But I could scare this thing off. He pretty much know by now that I'm fully speed F. I went for the Flash Cannon in the first one, but I should have gone just for the Dragon Tail, expecting the switch, as he just could freely switch in Empoleon against my Duraludon every single time. I could also predict the flip turn here and just go for a rest, which was probably a better decision, but I decided to switch out. Maybe trying to predict an earthquake or something, I don't know. I went back into Zapdos to try and scare this thing away, but I believe he went for the flip turn and I was losing momentum one round after another. As you can see, Kieran could be brought back easily and scare my Zapdos away. I didn't want to risk the Volt Switch because I was low. I didn't bring any speed on Zapdos, but that proved to be a very smart decision on my part. I had to bring back the Duraludon and hope that first Ice Beam was a high roll. But as you can see, that did way more than the previous one. That's a lot of damage. 16 plus 7, that's pretty much 70 or something, so I thought it was over for Duraludon. I thought for the first time on this match this was over. I just went for the rest, sacking Duraludon, and I knew I couldn't stop Kieran from here, so I was starting to get depressive at this point because I needed Duraludon in this match. But he switches out and we get the rest up, and that was clutch for me to stay in this game a little longer. I needed Duraludon in this game. I needed both Duraludon and Whiscash healthy to try and beat this team with the Iron Hands and Kieran double. It was really good for me that he switched out. He said he didn't want to risk it. He said he looked like him to be a 3-hit KO on Duraludon, but he was scared. You see, as in the first Sleep Talk, I got the Dragon Tail. That was a lucky Sleep Talk on my part. Against Iron Hands, I just had to switch Whiscash in every single time. Whiscash was just here in this match to switch into Iron Hands. He goes for the Drain Punch on the first turn, and it shows me that he is a adamant full attack Iron Hands, probably Assault Vest like he was the last time. Seeing I could take 2 more, I went for the Whirlpool, but probably should have just gone for the rest right away. And this is when things start to get ugly for me on this match. Is in this turn, I start to get really stressful. This was the first one, I believe. Yeah, I went for the Whirlpool, and as he switches Kieran back, and I miss my first Whirlpool in the game. I was never staying in on the Kieran anyway, but I needed damage on everything. I needed chips little by little to try and win this match, and missing my first Whirlpool was not cool. Fortunately, I had the rest up on Duraludon, and as you can see, I can take 2 Earth Powers. But again, this was risky, and it was risky for him, so he was just switching out every time on Duraludon. He knew I had Flash Cannon and Dragon Tail at this point. He just brings back Iron Hands. And right after a Whirlpool miss, I get a Rest Slip Talk. And so I went back into Whiscash. And he goes for the Earthquake. And it looks like me that I can take 2, but it was probably a roll as well. But I had to risk it. I went for the rest. As he switches out, so I get my Whiscash back up on him, and I reveal my second Rest Sleep Talk set of the finals. There you go, Whiscash is back on full, Sleepy as well. He knew I was Rocky Helmet, so at this point he probably assumed I was Sleep Talk on this thing as well. Since Duraludon was low on health, I decided to go on the Hatterene, even though I needed Hatterene full for the Iron Moth. We had a little problem here, but I got back up quickly. As you can see, I think he went for the Ice Beam on this turn, knowing he could two-shot my Duraludon at this point. but showing that Irene could take 2, he switches out back into Empoleon. I predict that and went for the Nuzzle. So at this point we have 2 paralyzed Mons on his team with Empoleon and Hitmontop, and that was good for us. Against Empoleon, I don't remember what I did. Probably brought back Duraludon so I could rest again, maybe. No, I think I went for 1 or 2 Psyshocks in front of this thing to see what he wanted to do, or maybe to predict a flip turn, as I get a paralyze on the first turn, which I don't think it helped us a lot. I think a flip turn here would have been better for us, honestly. I was debating go for the Psychic Terrain, but it was too soon. The Psychic Terrain was to try and help Chien-Pao against the Hitmontop, force him to go for a close combat instead of the Mach Punch, so I could hit him first and twice if needed. As he goes for the Roost on the second one, so the Psyshocks were not doing anything against this thing. At this point I decided to go for Zapdos even though he could flip turn, because I was not doing anything to this thing with Psyshock. He went for the Flash Cannon, thankfully, and we could take it pretty well. I knew Current could come again for free against my Zapdos, so the Roosts were not helping me, so I decided to go for the Volt Switch. As you can see, he went for the Current. And with that, that was a really good place, because I could bring Duraludon without the fear of being too shot, so I could go for the rest again. Or was this the turn I went for the Chien-Pao? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe this was the turn I went for the Chien-Pao. I believe I was doing some calcs. Yeah, I was doing some calcs to see if he was in range of the Sacred Sword. My idea here was to scare him away with the Sacred Sword to get a free Sword Stance. I was getting a way more chipped on my team than I was doing damage to him, so I decided I had to go for the offense at this point and went for the Sword Stance, predicting him switching out, expecting maybe a banded Sacred Sword, but that just went by to bite me in the butt real quick. This was a Scarf Current all along. Gladly I survived this Draco Meteor, but the Swords Dance was for nothing. I knew this thing was faster than me. He could predict me going for the Hatterene because he was locked into Dragon Meteor and I knew it. But I went for it right away and he switched it out. So I could have went for a very strong +1 Sacred Sword here, and I missed the chance. So there you go, another match where Chien-Pao couldn't do much. I bring Hatterene in against Hitmontop. I know he has to switch out, so I made the double into Zapdos. This was just getting uglier and uglier for me. But I was doing my best, I was trying my best. My team was getting really weak real quickly. I predict the switch into Empoleon here, which was good. I believe I went for a Thunderbolt. No, I went for the Volt Switch again, predicting the Current again. But I was honestly at this point I was really scared of. I knew he could take at least one Volt Switch, so I was scared he was going for a flip turn and get me on my try to get the momentum, but he just switched out straight into Current, which was good. But I couldn't do the Chien-Pao play anymore, and now I know this thing is Scarf, so this time I went for the Duraludon so I could rest in front of this thing again. He knew he can't kill me, one-shot me when I'm above half. So he had to switch Current out every time. He not killing Duraludon on that first 3 turns of the match was really bad for him. I believe if he went for the 3-hit KO on the Duraludon, he would probably get it, and that would pretty much be game for me really early in the match. With Duraludon around, I could stall this game for way longer. Against Empoleon here, I was pretty much thinking of what I could do from now on, so I decided to waste a few turns of rest and sleep talk to try and figure out what I could do at this point. I honestly didn't know, so I believe I went for a few rest sleep talk turns while I was thinking what I could do. Nah. First he went for the Iron Hands. That's right. Forgot about this. This was another really stressful turn for me because, you know, my switch in against Iron Hands is always Whiscash. Sorry. And after the Whirlpool missed the Sleep Talk rest, he gets a Drain Punch crit on my Whiscash, and that was devastating. This turn was really devastating for me. As you can see, Iron Hands pretty much got back to full when Drain Punch wasn't supposed to recover any health. Rocky Helmet was supposed to just make Drain Punch recovers nothing from him, and he gets the crit, and that was just straight up really badly for me. And I get the Whirlpool instead of the Earthquake, so at least Kyuren's getting damage even more, but being hurt this much with Whiscash was straight up bad for me, way bad. That was terrible. The moment I got this crit, sorry, I thought it was over again. I thought, I don't know, I can't beat these Iron Hands. This is getting worse by the minute. He gets the Draco Meteor. It takes more than half, but Draco Meteor drops his special attack, so I knew I could just go for rest again because I used 2 Sleep Talks. Actually, I went for Dragon Tail, sorry. Predicting the Iron Hands or the Empoleon. I get the Dragon Tail up, which is good. A miss here would be just straight up terrible. We get the Iron Moth in, and I believe I decided to go for the rest, or just Dragon Tail, fearing the Meteor Beam or the Agility. He went for the Fire Dance. I can take it and Dragon Tail out this thing. At this point I was trying to get Arcanine safe into something I was faster than. I believe now is the time I start to go for rest and sleep talk with Duraludon, trying to figure out what to do, on how I could bring this game back somehow, and it took a while for me to find out a plan. No, it's not this time. It will happen, I promise. I went for rest. Duraludon is back on full. I need this. At this point I had to sack the Whiscash, or either that or I predict the Earthquake and went for the Zapdos. I can't remember. Yeah, I predict the Earthquake and went for Zapdos. As he goes for the Earthquake. I need the damage on this thing to get this thing in range of Arcanine, so I just went for the Hurricane, hoping Ice Punch wouldn't kill me, or that he didn't bring Ice Punch, and hoping I could hit the Hurricane. But I did, and it does some damage, so it puts Iron Hands in range of the Arcanine, which is great for us, but we lose Zapdos in the process. And this is finally the first turn where one thing was killed. Zapdos was the first one to go down, as I go straight into Arcanine. I think I went straight for a Flare Blitz here, predicting the Hitmon top. Yeah. as I said, I needed damage on Hitmontop and Weezing as much as I could. He goes for the Hitmontop. Gets the Intimidate up. And even at -1, Flare Blitz does a taunt, which is great. But he gets the Rocky Helmet. But I know I can warn his signs in front of this thing. I could stall for Paralyze, and I knew Triple X wasn't doing much to me. And he gets another crit. But he gets only 2, so I think that evens out. And I could go for a Head Smash. I think I went for the Head Smash, predicting the Weezing switch. Yep. One thing I can complain about is that I wasn't missing Head Smashes, and that's something. Not missing Head Smashes was pretty good for me. I get some damage on Weezing, and that's just great. I knew he was going back into Hitmontop because Weezing couldn't take another Head Smash, and Hitmontop could fire off another Intimidate and resist the Head Smash, so I went for the Flare Blitz, and there you go, he did it. Back on Hitmontop. And thankfully, Hitmontop is now really low. The decision of going for the Terraghost was great because he couldn't close combat Mach Punch or Drain Punch against my Arcanine, and that was really, really good. I couldn't take advantage of the Ghost Terra on the offensive side, but on the defensive side was the perfect decision. I got my Arcanine back to full as he goes for the Battle Pass, I believe, into Iron Moth. Having Arcanine full against Iron Moth was really good. I'm glad I didn't switch out here. I went for the Calcs since I'm -2 to see if Head Smash killed this thing. I can't let this thing set up. I seen the Calcs the Head Smash in fact do kill, but it was a risky play because if I miss here, I believe Iron Moth just wins the game, but I had to do it. I couldn't let this thing set up. As you can see, he goes for the Minior Beam with Power Herb. But we're full. Arcanine is very bulky, so we take it. The bad thing is Arcanine is really low, but we hit the Head Smash and Iron Moth is gone. We finally get a kill. And things are tied up again with 5 and 5. But at this point, he could go into Curia, as you can see. I know his Scarf, I'm really low, and that was the point where things start to get slow. This is finally the point where I had to waste some turns with Duraludon to think about a strategy to try and bring this game back to me. Goes for the Ice Beam. As you can see, it's doing more than 60 HP damage every single time, so I believe that switching out that Current on that point where Duraludon was around 50 or 53 HP was clutch for me to stay on the game a while longer. I just go for a Sleep Talk. I believe I have another 2 turns. I get the rest again against Iron Hands, so at this point I had to sack the Whiscash. So I could bring Arcanine back up. That crit was just bad, just bad. And as you can see, he gets another one with Earthquake. This one didn't matter because Earthquake was two-shotting me every time, no matter what. But still, seeing another crit on my Whiscash was not cool. I'm faster than this thing. And I go for the Sleep Talk, and I believe I get a Whirlpool, and yeah, that's it, I get it. It won't matter. I was honestly hoping for an Earthquake here. I don't know if it killed, but it will put him really slow, maybe in range of the Ice Shark, for example. But nope, I don't get it. At this point, I have to go for the Arcanine again to pressure this thing out of the field. And I know he can risk me going for Agility, especially now that Weezing and Hitmontop are so low, so I have to go for the kill here, because if he just go for the damage, losing Arcanine means just losing the game. So he kills Whiscash and I kill Iron Hand right after with Arcanine. But the point is, Arcanine is still really low, and Kyurem can come in. I believe this is the turn where I just had to sack Harry to get Duraludon in. Yeah. Sorry, my cats. Told you, yeah, this was a long battle. Bear with me a little longer. Goes for the Ice Beam. I'm just sacking Henry here. I know I cannot speed this thing. He gets the freeze. I know it didn't matter again, but it's so annoying. He getting crits and I'm missing Whirlpools, missing Dragon Tails, and now this freeze. I was really getting annoyed by these things happening every single turn. But it was fine, it didn't matter. I could bring Duraludon back in, and I know I can't rest on this turn. I'm pretty sure. No, I had to go for the Sleep Talk one more time. As you can see, it's uneven. The PP on the Sleep Talk. As he had to switch out, he couldn't risk it. He couldn't risk losing Kyurem. That's a thing. And this is finally the point where I had to waste some turns. I know I said it twice or 3 times already, but this was the point I had to waste some turns to figure it out what to do here. So I just went for Restless and Sleep Talks for a while. And he just did the same. He was stalling sometimes as well with Roost and Flash Cannon. I was just trying to figure out what to do here. I was honestly just trying to figure out what to do. I was trying to put maybe things in range of Ice Shard with Champao, since he didn't have Rocks apparently. If he did, he was just went for it already. I just go for Red Sleep Talk, and he reveals Vacuum Wave. The moment he reveals Vacuum Wave, I knew Champao was doing nothing. So it was good. I was wasting some turns. I get the Dragon Tail here. And it got to a point where my first thought was I have to make him kill Duraludon so I could bring Arcanine into something where I could Morning Sun into. That was the first plan I had in mind, but as you can see, he was just bringing back Empoleon in front of Duraludon every single time. I was trying to see if I could bring something in where he could attack and kill Duraludon. So again, I was wasting Rest and Sleep Talk. I woke up, go for Rest again. And I believe in this turn he goes for Roost. No, he goes for the Flash Cannon. I believe there was a turn where he crit me with Flash Cannon a few turns ago, so another crit. Go for Sleep Talk. I know we can kill each other here, even though he has Vacuum Wave. He has to save the Vacuum Wave for the Champao as he gets the Paralyze. And I just go for Sleep Talk again. And I get another Rest, why not? As he goes for the Roost, so he's back on full, which is terrible. I'm just trying to figure out here. I knew I was waking up this turn and I was pretty much full, so I started going for Dragon Tails. I just started going for Dragon Tails to see if I could bring something that could try and kill Duraludon. So I just go for a few Dragon Tails. Even though I was in front of Gallon Reason here, I just went for Dragon Tail again because I knew Empoleon was coming back. Oh wait, never mind. I tried to make the double. This was a very risky play, but I had to do it. As you can see, he just switches out into Empoleon, and that's another few turns that is so frustrating for me. Wait for it. I know I'm faster than this thing, especially Paralyzed, so I go for the Morning Sun. I know he can kill me, especially with things like Flash Cannon, Flip Turn, and Vacuum Wave. So I go for the Morning Sun, and he goes for the Flash Cannon, and he gets the Speed F drop. At this point, I know I can stall him for Paralyzed turn, so I could heal for free. So I heal again, expecting a paralyze as he goes for the flash cannon, and he gets a second speed dash drop. Man, this was too much. I couldn't believe my eyes. The 2 drops on a paralyze Empoleon, the misses, the crits, this was getting on me, but I finally get the paralyzed turret, so Arcanine is back on full, but I couldn't stay in because of the -2. But at least I got Arcanine back on healthy state, so I got what I wanted, even though I couldn't start attacking. I debated it for a few minutes, but for a little while, but I couldn't just go for the agility while I was -2, so I had to go back into Duraludon. I could have went for the sack on Champao, but Duraludon could take on this thing for days, so I didn't need to. So at this point, this was the part where I started to go for the Dragon Tails one after the other to try and make him kill Duraludon again. As he goes into Kyurem, I forced the Kyurem in. I go for the Dragon Tail again. I believe, yeah, I just went for quite a few Dragon Tails, knowing Kyurem was not getting in here. I was trying to get Hitmontop in, to be honest, because I knew Hitmontop could probably kill me. That was my plan. I get the Weezing. I know Weezing is switching out, so I just go for the Dragon Tail again. I'm trying to get Hitmontop in. That was the plan. As you can see, he switches out, always back into Empoleon. And I missed the Dragon Tail, why not? He is fully paralyzed, so that evens out, I guess. I go for the Dragon Tail again, he's out of the way. He goes back into Kyurem. I know Kyurem switches out, I don't know if this is the turn I go for the Arcanine. No, it's not, I just go for the Dragon Tail again. My plan was still trying to get Hitmontop in. It's almost over, guys, I promise. I finally get the Hitmontop in, and I knew this was the one I would try to sack Duraludon here, and he withdrew Hitmontop right back into Empoleon, and that's when I figured it out. He was not killing this Duraludon. He was not going for the kill on this Duraludon. He was trying to stall my PP out. That was his plan on Duraludon, and when I realized that, I thought, it's now or never. He's not going to kill Duraludon, so I'm going for the risky play of putting Arcanine in, because I know he's going to switch out, and he's not switching out into Kyurem. And it paid off. He switches out Hitmontop, and he brings Empoleon in. And I know this is the turn I have to go for the agility, and hope he doesn't get the staff again. I know I can also Morning Sun in front of this thing and stall for a paralyzed turn. He just withdrew right away. I get the agility for free as he goes into Hitmontop to get the Intimidate up. But this thing is now really low, and I know Flare Blade's kill. So I got what I wanted. Arcanine is healthy, Arcanine is fast. I go for the Flare Blades here, as he switches out into Weezing, so he could get another Intimidate. But we kill Weezing, so Weezing's out of the way. This is another kill for Arcanine. As he obviously, I think he went for the Kyurem here, or he just goes into Hitmontop. I think this turn he went for the Kyurem, maybe banking on the head smash miss to finish me off. Yeah, he goes for the Kyurem. He had to he knows I'm faster, even though, unless he thinks he can outspeed me, and I didn't grab for a Scarf, but I did. I bring Arcanine so I could be faster than anything at +1. So I had to go for the Head Smash. I couldn't let the Kyurem slow my Arcanine again, and I get this Head Smash up and Kyurem is down. At this point, I pretty much know Hitmontop and Empoleon can kill me, even though he puts me at -2. I go for the kill on the Hitmontop because I think even I go for the Calc to see if at -2 I could kill Hitmontop, and I believe I could. Yeah, I could, and I go for the Flare Blitz and kill this Hitmontop, and at this point it's just Empoleon. But I am -2, and I know I can face this Empoleon at -2, so I just go for Duraludon first to reset my attack. I could have just sacked Champao at this point, but I thought it could be important, forgetting about the Vacuum Wave. Oh, I just go for Flare Blitz at -2? I don't think so. I don't need the agility anymore. I don't need the agility anymore, so I just go for the Duraludon. I could have gone for the Champao to get the second, bring Arcanine back up. That was probably a better idea. But I bring in Duraludon as he goes for the Roost. And I think I just doubles back into Arcanine. No, I go for the Flash Cannon first. He goes for the Vacuum Wave. I could have just gone for the Arcanine there because I'm Ghost. As I see he going just for the Vacuum Wave, I just bring Arcanine back up. I know I can Morning Sun in front of this thing now. Trying to get a paralyzed turn and hoping for no more death drops. As you can see, I get the paralyzed right away, which was perfect. I can just go for the Morning Sun. I bring myself back to full, just to be sure I can start hitting this thing. I just hope for a no speed up drop, and I get it, and I just start go. I misclick here. I was supposed to go for a Flare Blitz, and I misclick. Fortunately, I didn't miss the Head Smash, and I get the Paralyze again. Finally, some lucky turns for me in the end. So I just go for Flare Blitz, knowing he can't kill me at this point. He goes for the Roost, but I know I can just stall for Paralyzed turns. He can just two-shot me at this point because I'm faster. So I start spamming Flare Blitz. He tried to go for another Roost, I believe. Yeah. And he finally attacks me with Flash Cannon. As you can see, it's not enough to finish me off. And Flare Blitz do the job. And we win with a 3-0. This was a 50 minutes long match. We win 3-0. Arcanine-Hisui get all 6 kills. It just kills everything. It kills Kyurem, Empoleon, Armoff, Hitmontop, Iron Hands, and Weezing. And we are back-to-back champions of the SPC Season 3 and Season 4. This was a really fun season. I had a ton of fun. I couldn't make Champao work, even though he was supposed to be the star of the team. Most of the battles he was just sitting on the bench or was failing him. But still, making my opponents just had to over-prep for him. It was just really good for the Arcanine and Hatterene. Arcanine and Hatterene with 3 Terra were just too much, I believe. Arcanine abused the Terra so much on this season with things like Terra Dark for the Chi-Yu, Terra Grass, Terra Ground with specs, which was really cool. This week with Terra Ghost, Hatterene swept teams with Terra Water, Terra Fairy, Terra Electric. My team was pretty much banking on kills with Arcanine and Hatterene every single week. Zapdos is just very useful. It's just too bulky. It has U-turn and Volt Switch. I got really surprised with Whiscash. I was expecting to use more Fione because of the take cards, but I ended up using only once. While Whiscash, every time I needed something to just bulky hold in a specific mon, it was always Whiscash that could come, even being either straight death or just death with Rocky Helmet brings rocks and spikes. I was really surprised with Whiscash. It was a really good mon. Duraludon I didn't use much throughout the season, but if I had to choose a mon that was my MVP in the playoffs, it was probably Duraludon because it was really important in both the semifinals and the finals match. Last week against Rhino, it brought the screams and help Hatterene sweep, and this time with the Red Sleep Talk just stalling turns against Huron and Napoleon, helping Arcanine win. Duraludon was great in the playoffs. In the back, I had Sceptile again with Shed Tail, just like I had Cyclizer last season. Also brought it with Choice Bandit week 1, and it was really good. Sceptile was very useful as well. And there were other things that I can't remember right now. What else did I had? I had the Driftbling and the Dunsparce. I think I failed the Dunsparce especially because every time I battle the Dunsparce, it always gives so much trouble to me. I can't kill it and it always ends up beating me. But me using it, I couldn't do the same. I always ended up having him as a Sackmon for others. I couldn't make Lair or work. I couldn't make a Body Slam work. There was a week in the playoffs that I believe I brought it with Boom Burst and Chopper Berry, and it was really useful. Even though I never could have got a setup with it with Coil or Calm Mind, I think I failed the Dunsparce, but still, I brought it quite a few times. Really useful mon. This was a really fun season. We get the back-to-back champions. We are champions again of the SPC. GG's to Leon. He probably got really mad after the match because this was a really long and stressful match with me stalling out quite a few turns. But I was stressful myself because of the lucky I had with the crits and the misses. But still, I think he deserved it. He had a better team. I had to bring stall to get a chance to win, and I ended up winning in a very long match. But it could have gone either way, especially in the beginning with Huron putting a lot of pressure on Duraludon. I wish my best to him. He's a great guy, great friend. And this is it, guys. The SBC Season 4 is over, and we are champions again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.